Game road losing streak against a team that, as we mentioned, has been very strong at home. They've won 10, they have lost 2, and they have tied 2. And we want to thank AT&T and all of our sponsors for allowing us to bring you tonight's game without commercial interruption. Now, Shep, we want to talk early about the heat and fatigue as you see the Metros in white tonight and Dallas wearing their red and black. Dallas hasn't played in 10 days. The MetroStars, of course, played Wednesday, Sunday before that. They've been busy. They've traveled. They're not used to playing in 100 degrees. They're officially is the weather conditions in their in their dreams.
Brent,
so what do you think about all that?
Those are definitely factors. I mean, if you talk to any coach, though, it's a two-edged sword. When you have a 10-day layoff, most coaches will say the players get rusty, they get stale, they'd rather have them play. Having said that, the MetroStars playing the 3rd game in 7 days under oppressive heat tonight. That's definitely a factor. The one thing to keep in mind, Brad, when you're playing in this heat, it's the team that maintains possession of the ball and makes the other team chase. That's the team that's going to do well.
Well, into space goes the ball, and the MetroStars come up with it. And Dooley will play it out of the back. Steve Jolly. And Paul Broom is number 4 for Dallas, and you could already see a little hand on the shirt of Mark Chung.
Well, you know, they want to just get a touch of the player. Always the first couple of minutes of any game, it sets a tone, and I expect them to be really tough, challenging, tough marking.
Eric Dade, number 2, overlapping from fullback. Price got a little bump in the box. And off we go. Comas. A lot of space.
Myers now outside right on the flank with the ball.
Nice back heel, Mathis. Go! What a start.
Unbelievable, Brad, and you talked about it before in terms of Clint Mathis having an MVP season, and he just showed you why. A little bit of a give and go, back and forth. Myers with the ball on the right flank, but Clint Mathis is so dangerous with that left peg. Watch Myers now. He's going to slip that ball inside. Now it comes back heel, and here's Clint. Once it's on his left foot, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, 99% of the time he's going to stick it in. It was a back heel by Comas that sprung him free, and Clint Mathis is a deadly finisher.
And for Clint Mathis, that is goal number 9. Myers will get the assist. It comes in the 3rd minute. And for both teams, that has been a significant thing to have happen, because when the MetroStars score the first goal, they are 12-2-1. And when Dallas gives up the first goal, they have lost 9 out of 10.
Oh, Brad, those are great statistics. I wish I had said it before. I always do say that statistically in soccer, the first 5 minutes of each half and the last 5 minutes of each half, those are the most dangerous times, whether it's lack of focus or you're looking at the clock, waiting to get in the locker room. But so many of the goals are scored in the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of each half.
Dave Durr, the dean of MLS coaches, and he has reason to look a little concerned as the MetroStars come out jumping on his team. Paul Broom was left watching as Clint Mathis ran away from him and took that nice ball inside from Myers.
Brad, especially this point of the season, I know both coaches, Durr and Octavio Zambrano, they're telling their players, don't worry about the next game. Even tonight's game, just worry about the first 15 minutes. Win each 15-minute segment.
Dooley's picked off. Jorge Rodriguez. Jason Price. Does an early goal like this cause either coach to change his strategy?
Well, it really doesn't. I mean, they're both going to settle in. It's a ridiculous saying, but each team really, when a goal is scored, MetroStars are thinking right now, let us get the next goal. The next goal could win this game. Obviously, for the Burn, they're saying one more goal. We got 86 minutes left, 86 minutes left to play. So, hey, you want to get the first goal, and the MetroStars did.
Well, the Metros are still probably smarting from not having gotten 3 points Wednesday night at home. I'm still waiting for Myers to get a chance at a penalty kick after being shoved down in the box against Kansas City. And I've watched that on tape about 4 times. I'm still waiting for the whistle to blow. I know it's going to blow one of these times.
There's no question. But you talked before, Brad, about that 10-day layoff, and sometimes the team is a bit stale, is a bit rusty, and certainly Byrne has looked like that in the first 5 minutes.
MetroStars have had the edge of play, and obviously they have the scoreboard. And the whistle and the flag goes up, and that gives us a chance to send along some personal wishes to Ed Strauss at Centra State Hospital, whose son Jeff is our producer for this telecast, and Ed had to, against his will, we're told, be admitted to the hospital last night, and word is, Ed, you're getting a little cranky, so calm down, do what they tell you,
hey, Ed,
get better.
Ed, this is from Chef. You are cranky at your best, so I certainly wish you well.
1-0 the MetroStars. If you've joined us a bit late, Clint Mathis in the 3rd minute got free in the penalty area and popped one past Matt Jordan.
We got to look, Brad, before at Coach Dave Barrett from Dallas, who's the only coach left in the league that's still with the same team. But on the other side of the ball, Octavio Zambrano, this is a reflection of the whole season. Everything he touches turns to goal. He puts Comas in as a surprise starter, backheel pass and a goal.
Well, this is the time of year when people start talking about individual honors in a team game. And Zambrano, if you had looked earlier in the year, I think Bob Gansler in Kansas City would have hands down been the coach of the year. But I think right now, if you take a vote, I'm not sure that Zambrano doesn't walk away with it, and there he is.
Well, I think those certainly are the 2 leading candidates. I certainly would give the edge to Zambrano because more than Gansler, he's had to tinker with the lineup. He's had more new faces coming into the lineup. Gansler pretty much has the same squad as last year. He's just really turned it around.
And I think that man we just saw, Clint Mathis, number 13, for my money, even though he doesn't have the gaudiest statistics in the league, hold on a minute, Howard has to protect his, oh look, here's a volley that goes wide by Graziani. I think for my money, Clint Mathis might be the MVP in the league. Petke's shaken up a little bit, but appears to be all right. I know Diallo's got fancy statistics, and early in the year, Tony Miola, a lot of people said, was the big difference maker. But if you look what the MetroStars have done since this man arrived at the Meadowlands, and what the team has done since he got there, I think you can make a case for him. What do you think?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Diallo, certainly a controversial figure in New York now because of the incident involving all-star goalkeeper Mike Amon, but Diallo is having an MVP season. I agree with you. Clint Mathis, for my money, is the MVP, but still some time left, and it's really what you do in the next week or 10 days or 3 weeks that's going to make a difference.
MetroStars pressing, trying to add to that 1-0 lead. Mathis back post, and will this be a goal kick? No, it will not. They're going to go to the corner. Clint Mathis put one past Matt Jordan, the Clemson product, and Mark Chung to take the corner. Far to the back post. Bicycle. Petke just missed on that one.
Mike Petke, I tell you what, he would have gone nuts, and his fan club in New York, New Jersey would have gone nuts. Watch this ball. It's really not driven, but it's floated wide to the back post. There's a great header, and now Mike Petke with a pretty poor-looking bicycle kick, but that's not where Petke makes his money. He makes his money back at the other end of the field.
And Petke is a guy who leads the MetroStars in minutes, and really a solid player. That's a position where, as you say, numbers really don't tell the whole story.
No, and it's really a story of this season's play. I mean, Petke, the only time he's scored this year, both goals have been game winners, but he's done the job in the defensive third. He's that man marker that takes the toughest player on the opposing team.
MetroStars pushing forward, and Deering pokes it away for Dallas. Dallas tries a counter. Pareja, Paul Broom, nicely blocked. Broom tried to pull the trigger. Young man from right here in Dallas, played collegiately at Southern Methodist University. 2 is Eric Dade. Oh, Dooley is so calm back there, isn't he?
They really have all the integral parts. We showed Tab Ramos at the top of the show, and Tab really, I believe, needs to get more of the ball in the midfield. Ironically, when Lothar Matthäus is in the lineup, Matthäus sometimes circumvents that. He shoots 40-yard balls. Here's the confrontation, Kreis and Chad Deering. And listen, you got to try and slow down Clint Mathis. I mean, if you don't put a body on him, he's going to kill you.
And speaking of Matthäus, of course, there's Clint, who says, you know, when he yanks on my jersey like that, shouldn't he be given a yellow card? Because I almost lost my shirt. This one cleared away by Broom. We mentioned Matthäus, and he is not here tonight. An accumulation of yellow card points. Watch out, Jordan out of the six to get it. Now, fans, it's time to announce the winning numbers for the MetroStars Irish Spring Aloe Run for the Money promotion. Check your MetroStars lottery ticket. If you have lucky numbers 20-501 or 28-453, then you're a finalist to try and win $1 million by participating in the $1 Million Kick at Giants Stadium on Wednesday, September 5th, when the Metros host the Miami Fusion. Again, the winning numbers are 20,501 and 28,453. The winners must call the MetroStars office by Monday, August 28th at 5 p.m. to be eligible. Now, I'm still not confused. Is Tommy Smith participating in that, or is he not?
Tommy Smith, you know, we believe here in the booth that he's the poster boy for Irish Spring.
Not a question.
Yeah, no question.
Although I don't want to see him using it.
No, we're trying to sell soap. He belongs with them.
The Metros lead 1-0 on a Mathis goal in the 3rd minute. And here's Clint as they try to get forward. Dooley, gathered from behind by Graziani, will have a whistle. And the foul is on Chad Deering. You see Ramos getting in. Chad Deering, well, he's expressive. See, I didn't do that.
Now, Ramos on the ball, he's tremendous on the ball, and really a clip with the second leg in. He made an effort for the ball, clearly clipped him with the dragging leg. Ramos went down.
But Dallas able to clear it. This is Lazo Alavagna from Indiana. Richard Farah. And there's a lot of space without a red shirt. Dallas looks dead-legged right now. They look like a team trailing by more than just a goal, don't they?
Well, it's really a function of the heat and the 10-day layoff. I mean, and then you come out and give up the goal in the 3rd minute, and, you know, you start having nightmares. So for Dallas, they have to get back in the game. There's plenty of time left. They have to settle down. They have to do what they do best.
Dallas has 2 road games and 1 home game remaining. Graziani, nice ball, deep into the corner. Mark Santel around Chung. And to the near post, and Howard is there.
And that's a good effort because they got that ball to Santel wide on the right flank, really spread out the defense. Mark Chung was back playing defense. Here's the good ball. Graziani beats 2 players in the midfield. Watch Santel on the right flank. Now he's free. He takes the ball, runs a little bit wide, and instead of going down to the touchline, he cuts back. Chung stays with him, but Santel has time to fire with the left foot.
And here's Kreis challenging, and Howard there to volley it away. Jason Kreis, the leading scorer for Dallas, the league MVP and leading scorer last year. And here's a man who's going to have great, great days ahead of him, Tim Howard.
Well, we've talked a lot about Howard, his athletic ability, his technical goalkeeping skills. The kid's only 21.
Santel tries to put it in front of him. And it is volleyed back over the byline again. Another corner for Dallas, and Howard's got to direct traffic this time. Number 8, Oscar Pareja will take it. Veteran Colombian. Graziani looking for Deering. And Mike Petke floated away.
I'll tell you, Deering was offsides on that play. No flag from the linesman. Graziani now with the ball.
In for Kreis. Taken away nicely. Myers on the receiving end. Poked away by Dade. Good look at Roy.
He's what we call the elegant midfielder on this MetroStar team. He's so tall and lanky, and he runs with ease with the ball at his feet.
Mathis is onside, looking for a little help. And here it comes. And that time connection's just missed.
Well, for the MetroStars, obviously a very good start. When we talk about, again, the temperature in the high 90s, very important to be the team that's controlling the ball, maintaining possession, because it's a heck of a lot harder to chase the ball on defense than to possess it offensively.
These were days when you were happy to be standing back there between those pipes.
I was never happy to be standing back there.
That's not the way I remember it. Richard Farah across to Eric Dade. We will be giving you the scores from around the league. It's a busy soccer Saturday. We do want to tell you that the Tampa-Chicago game was interrupted by lightning for more than an hour this afternoon. And of course, we're going to keep close watch on the Columbus-New England game, because while the Metros can claim their first division title ever with a win here tonight, they can also not win tonight and still win the division if New England loses. And the reason that's important, of course, is in the new playoff format. As long as you win the division, you're going to get home field in one of the top 3 seeds.
Yeah, home field is where you want to be in the 2 out of 3. There's no question about it. Again, we talked about philosophy with respect to the coaches. They're telling their players on both sides of the ball tonight, just win the next 15 minutes. You've got to stay focused on 15 minutes, 45 minutes. Don't worry about the playoff picture. Don't worry about the next game. Just win the next portion of tonight's game.
Well, the Metros won the first 15. Clint Mathis in the third. Now Dallas trying to come back. Pareja from Christ. That's Broom back post down in the corner. This is Alabania. And a save by Howard Price. Blocked by Petke. Price again. To have a look at those aforementioned scores around Major League Soccer today. That's in the second half. Metros are hoping for Columbus to win that game. And that one finished tied. Again, a delay of more than an hour because of lightning in Tampa. First half, DC United, as you probably know, already mathematically eliminated from the playoff race. And a little bit later on, Kansas City and Colorado. Los Angeles will be at San Jose. So Chicago and Tampa draw, and Tampa now has 48 points, Chicago 45. MetroStars with 48 coming in. And if positioning were to hold, Shep, and the MetroStars finish third and Dallas sixth, they'd play each other in the first round of the playoffs.
It is ironic. These guys, they haven't been doing it tonight so far, but the battle at Giant Stadium was an absolute bloodbath. Petke and Graziani going at it all night. Sergei Benov, the Ukrainian player for Dallas, out of Wake Forest, he got tackled in the first half and broke an ankle out for the year. So pretty violent game. Nobody's really touched each other yet tonight.
I wonder if they've been warned either by coaches or officials. Surely the officials knew about that game. The MetroStars have the edge. Nice ball through for Myers by Comas. Poked away. Rodriguez for Dallas. Graziani was being held by Jolly. And the quick restart. Price, Petke on him. 7 is Santel. Alabania overlapping Eric Dade. And way too strong out of the back.
And that's really what Dallas has to do, except for the end. That was obviously poor execution by Dade on the cross, but they played it out of the back. Dade made a run to the right flank into open space, got a ball with plenty of time, just mishit the cross.
Well, come cheer on your MetroStars on Tuesday, September 5th at Giant Stadium as they take on the Miami Fusion at 7:30. For ticket information, call 1-888-4-METRO-TIX or visit our website at www.metrostars.com. Metro's making a run. Broom back defensively. And into touch. And, of course, that Miami game is the last regular season home game for Comas and his teammates.
Paul Broom on the ball, left foot. There's Comas with a late tackle. I don't see a need to whistle that play, but really the intent on the late sliding tackle, they called it in the favor of Paul Broom.
What Broom does for Dallas is you look at Alex, who doesn't think either that a whistle was called for. The reason Dave Durr has wanted Broom back in is he's a natural left-sided player, and they've been playing Mark Santel on the left side. They've been without a true left-sided flank player in his month-long absence since getting a multi-stitch gash on his thigh in a U.S. Open Cup match.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but Dallas, the team itself, generally is a very different team than the MetroStars. Dallas is a team that needs to run off the ball, have that ball played into open space and players running into that space. Whereas the MetroStars this year are very much control, possession, one touch, individual skill on the ball. It's more difficult in the heat to play Dallas's type of game.
Don't you wonder why they try to do it?
You're saying it's hot here all the time now.
That's what I hear. Santel leaves it for Dave. And he lost it. Nicely done by Myers and Dooley. Quick restart.
Watch Dave come in late. I mean, clip them down. Good for the ref to call it, but again, MetroStars had possession. If he didn't blow that whistle, they're off to the races.
23rd minute in Dallas, and Clint Mathis scored in the third on an assist from Myers. And the MetroStars have had the edge of play ever since. They've gotten a sniff or two of Tim Howard's goal, but that's about it. He's made really just one difficult save. There's a nice little back heel that nobody was ready for, and Chad Deering's teammates included. We are at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. The MetroStars making their only appearance here of the regular season. I'm Brad Sham with Chef Messing. Nice to have you with us. And the MetroStars, as we mentioned, assisted by Myers and Comas. Clint Mathis in the third minute. That's our scoring. And Comas's assist, by the way, was his fourth of the year.
Well, Comas has been in the doghouse pretty much all year as we watched here with the ball.
Ramos has it picked away by Deering. Alavagna with a run. Nice run by Alavagna. Looking for Graziani and right behind him. You were saying about Comas.
Comas has been in Octavio Zambrano's doghouse all year. They thought coming in the two Colombian big-time players, Valencia and Comas, would play well together. In fact, they didn't complement each other at all. And he's really found that they play better, Valencia alone with Clint Mathis or Comas alone with Clint Mathis. So he's, again, been the master juggler this year. I was surprised to see Comas in the lineup tonight, but he had immediate impact.
And that, along with the whole business of Mateus early on, and to see where that whole thing has led, especially since Mathis and Jolly showed up, are the reasons why I said earlier I think Zambrano's the coach of the year in the league.
No question. Octavio, for me, is the coach of the year. And again, he's pulled this team together. I noticed something before kickoff tonight that I haven't seen all year from the MetroStar team. They all huddle up right before the whistle. All 11 players, hands together. They're a unified team playing very well now.
And leading 1-0. Price for Dallas in the box. That's cleared by Jolly. Deering trying to one-touch it to Kreis, and Petke was there. Now Comas. Now Comas. Oh, look at this run. Look at this. Saved by Jordan, but rebounded by Clint Mathis. It is 2-0 MetroStars.
Oh, baby, Octavio Zambrano's got to love it. That was a great release pass out of the midfield. Comas well onside. Comas and Clint Mathis do the rest. Watch Comas. He's going to take this nicely into the box. No other choice here but to shoot. The save by Jordan, and there's Clint Mathis again. When he gets that ball on his left peg, it's in. Watch Clint fire in on the rebound, left foot, and it's 2-0 MetroStars.
Well, that's a highlight reel goal right there. Not the finish alone necessarily, but from the buildup.
Well, it was really that 30-yard killer pass from the midfield that sprung Comas onside.
And now we'll see if the Metro... Uh-oh, look out, Graziani's loose, and it's 2-1. Well, before I could even say it, game on.
I still can't figure it out, Fred. It's still so unbelievable to me that the moments when you score goals, that's another portion of the game to be very careful. Within a minute or two or three of the other team scoring. Watch this ball come into the middle of the pack, and it's Graziani with his chest. He takes it down, 2-on-0, and he hits the upper net. Great play by Graziano. He could have passed the ball left, but didn't want to take a chance on an offside, and he just roofed that ball. No chance for Tim Howard.
That is the 14th of the year for Graziani. And the assists will go to Santel and Perea. So now we've got a 2-1 game. Don't anybody move. Jolly out of the back. Villegas. Uh-oh, Christ trying to spring Graziani, and they couldn't hook up. '26th minute officially for Graziani. Santel's assist is his 5th, and Perea is his 14th. But Clint Mathis has scored twice for the MetroStars.
For Dallas, that's what they have to do. Santel has been doing good work down the right flank, right side of the field. Created a number of opportunities. This is the first one that Graziano was able to pounce on, chest the ball down, and roof it for the goal. But it's Santel doing the work.
Dallas had something like 223 consecutive scoreless minutes coming into the game. And Mathis ended that in a pretty big hurry. And now, at 2-1, it takes on a whole different feel as we play in the 29th minute. And what I was going to say before Graziani interrupted us was that let's see how the MetroStars can play with a 2-goal lead now. You'd like to think when you get up 2-0, the game should be just about over.
Well, when you're you're on the road and you're up, you score that second goal. Again, it's that momentary lapse of focus. Inattention after you score your own goal, you're celebrating in your own mind, and bing, it's in the back of your own net. So, got to be careful. Watch this rough play in the midfield. Here's cheering on the ball. Tab picking it off. Myers clipping Chad Deering from behind. And, you know, tough little tackle, but not as rough a game as the game in Giant Stadium 5 weeks ago.
No, but it might be headed that way right now because both teams are doing a little bit of pushing here and there. This is Pereja, Alavanya. Deering into the Colombian Pereja. Broom. He's got Graziani. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's got Jolly is what he's got.
Broom is saying cut inside. Graziani made his run behind the defender, and Broom is actually right. I mean, the cut should have been made. Graziani should have gone near post. Instead, he went far post.
Great political dynamics of the game, though. A young guy like Broom can tell Graziani where he should be going, running, cutting, and be right.
Well, we didn't hear Graziani's answer.
Well, no, we didn't, but we have vivid imaginations. Deering with the throw in for Dallas. Dangerous spot here. Price, and there's Petchy. And the whistle blew again. To Valenzuela, talking it over with Jason Price. On the 5th, the MetroStars meet Miami. By the way, this is what happens for the MetroStars when they score 2 or more. So the portent is very good. Chung trying to make a move, can't. Is back to Jolly. Out. 2 games left with Miami for the Metros. 1 there and 1 at the Meadowlands, and then they'll finish up on the 9th of September in Foxborough at New England. And then on to the playoffs. That's something the MetroStars haven't been able to say.
Well, you know, from worst to first. I mean, that's what they're looking at in terms of last season to this season. But, you know, it's not over. They have bigger aspirations.
Out of space in the middle for Chad Deering. He'll crank it from there. Graziani. Price tried to pull the trigger and couldn't. And we'll get a throw-in for the Metros.
Well, that was a good idea by Graziani, as we see Myers clipped down and some discussion with the linesman. But Graziani really headed the ball back, or got the ball back very nicely to Christ. Christ much better on his left foot. This time the ball came to his right, and he was forced into a very difficult full volley.
And Petke right there in his hip pocket. Dave Durr pacing around. Clearly not a happy man. I'm going out on a limb and saying Dave doesn't like the way this thing is going.
Right, I was going to say, Brad, that's a take a chance.
I'm going way out on this limb here. Durr, we mentioned earlier, the last remaining coach with his original team and from the first year of MLS. But earlier this year, like a number of coaches, his teams aren't doing real well. Here's a chance now for the Metros. Hold on a minute. Richard Farrah trying to clear it out. And the foul will go against the MetroStars.
Yeah, and he stripped that ball from Billy Walsh. Billy has played great this year in the defensive midfield. Here's the foul, shielding the ball. Billy Walsh with his left arm giving a little tug, but Billy's done great doing the workload in the defensive part of the midfield for the MetroStars.
Petke trying to bring it out. Villegas. Nice move, but the foul is going against Villegas. Strangely enough.
And so many times, Brad, not only in soccer but all sports, there's a tendency to be overly critical of the officials. Here's Villegas. I mean, a clear foul. He used both hands and his body to get over the player, but sometimes coaches are the guilty parties. They focus too much on the referee. Hey, he's the guy blowing the whistle. Get on and play the game.
MetroStars with a 2-1 lead. Now 12 minutes from halftime. And Price couldn't run that one down for Dallas. And Petke has been closer to him than that most of the night.
Yeah, well, Petke's had a great year, an all-star year. He dipped a little bit last year, but this year, in my estimation, he's an all-star defender. He's probably the toughest man-to-man marker in Major League Soccer today. I mean, you don't want to be going up against him if you're an attacking player.
Now, with the year that some of the more famous DC United defenders have had, is he a candidate for the Defender of the Year?
Well, I think he is. A little bit of a volatile temperament, which may play against him, but he's got to keep elevating his game. He's a young guy, and he's taken, a lot of big strides this year.
Well, this appears to be a card shown to Jason Christ.
Watch this. Jolly on the ball. Christ with a very awkward tackle from behind. That's a justified yellow card. I mean, a clumsy tackle from behind. That's how a play gets hurt. And Jason Christ, he works hard, does a lot of running. He's not that type of player. We watched Jolly getting up from that collision. I mean, you get hit from behind with both feet up, you're going to get hurt.
The MetroStars will get a free kick out of it. Fouls are even at 7 apiece. Watch out for Myers.
Ladies and gentlemen, a yellow card.
And then Santel clears it for Dallas. 2 goals for Mathis in the 3rd and 26th minutes. And the lights were barely turned on for Mathis's goal when Graziani answered for Dallas.
Graziani is down now away from the ball. Petke cracked him on that last header. Graziani laying down in the midfield.
Right in the kickoff circle to the right of where the action is on your screen right now. And meanwhile, now the ball they put into touch so attention can be paid to Graziani.
We were just talking about Mike Petke. Watch Petke go up. Perfect form, that right knee up, which is legal, but it hits Graziani in the lower back, and down he goes. Goalkeepers always go up for a high ball with the knee extended. Petke did the same thing on the header. Good, tough, strong defender.
Well, when these teams played at the Meadowlands on the 5th of July, Petke was pretty much marking Dave Durr's leading scorer, then Graziani, and apparently was pretty vocal. There's another look at it. Pretty vocal about having, in Mike's opinion, dominated Graziani that night. At least that was what got in the papers here in Dallas, and the Dallas players have been kind of buzzing about that all week.
Well, I think that's been a common story for the player up against Petke all year. There was talk about Mamadou Diallo and the injury to Amin, a function of his frustration playing against Mike Petke.
Now you see Graziani being helped off. Let's see it one more time.
Watch Mike. He goes up with perfect form. Watch his right knee in the back, the lower back of Graziani, but every good stopper, man marker, is going to go up like that. I mean, it's legal. There was no foul, but Graziani obviously got the worst of it.
Right on that tailbone, too. They'll need a little more.
September 4th on pay-per-view. Look for Al Jarreau's new...
For a cross in the air, they don't want to be extended with no protection, and that's the way you do it, just like Petke did on the header.
Graziani has re-entered the match. 2-1 Metros in the 38th minute. Mark Chung lost it in the midfield. Alavagna from Indiana University. Nice run again by Alavagna. And he held on to it a little too long. Fortunately for the MetroStars, Deering has no idea where it is. And look at Petke come out to get it.
Alavagna did make a great run, but he certainly had better choices than to put his head down and keep going. He had a player streaking on the right, one on the left. Unfortunately, he put his head down, hung on to the ball, and got stripped.
And the MetroStars got to it in a hurry. Dade will run this down and head it back to Jordan.
Here's Alavagna. Now he's looking up. He's got a player to his right. There you see him at the left of the screen. Player to his left, unfortunately, puts his head down, dribbles into 4 players, and loses the ball. Good individual skill, but he needed to do better at the end of that play.
Eric Dade leaving that one closer to Howard than he did to Jason Price. Now coming up at halftime, the New York Life halftime report that'll feature the MLS Play of the Week, Soccer Saturday update, and first half highlights and statistics. And we have some. We might just make that, that second Mathis goal. Let's just make that our Play of the Week. I don't know if we're going to get a whole lot better than that.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Great long run by Comas.
For sure. But the first goal as well, a nifty back heel by Comas, a blind back heel. Clint Mathis putting it away.
Clint's the difference right now, 2-1. Graziani with the Dallas goal. About 6 minutes from halftime. Back post, looking for Graziani. Watch out. There's Howard.
There's another example. Although Mike Petke actually missed that head ball, he did give a body to Graziani, pushed him off the ball just enough to allow Tim Howard to come out and snare it.
And it comes to Comas. Oh, nice for Mathis. Hat trick!
Oh, baby. I mean, it doesn't get any better, Brad. Again, it's Comas and Mathis. Comas with a brilliant cutback, going left, cut it back to the right. I'll tell you, the MetroStar bench going nuts, but that combination, Comas to Mathis, tonight has produced 3 goals. Watch Comas. Unbelievable. His body was going the other way, and he flicked it with the outside of his right foot, Clint, here, watch it here now. Just a flick with the outside of his right foot, and Clint, in traffic, knows he has to go up high. He buries it in the roof of the net.
Well, this place just got quiet as a morgue. 3 tonight for Clint Mathis. Did somebody up here say he should be a candidate for MVP in the league? Did I hear somebody say that?
You did, my man, and you did it before the game started.
But he couldn't have done it, as you said, without the help that he got from Comas. Well, and you know what? That's why Zambrano, and you said it earlier, everything he touches turns to 3 assists in 1 game in this case.
Octavio's been pushing every button the right way. Here's another good ball, switching flanks, but unfortunately, Clint not making a run that time. But you look at this first 40 minutes, and it's textbook soccer, attacking for MetroStars.
We're going to have to have our past technical staff check and see if there's been another hat trick in the league this year.
I'm sure there has. I'm not sure there's been one in the first 40 minutes of a game.
Well, Clint Mathis has taken all the spirit out of the Dallas Burn tonight. I'll guarantee you. We'll see what they've got left. Alavanya. Little flick, Price. And Jolly volleyed it away. Now, the only bad thing for the MetroStars is the amount of time remaining, because in the second half is when the fatigue possibility and the heat factor that we mentioned earlier, Shep, might come into play.
I'll tell you one thing, Brad. See what Santel does with this ball on the right flank.
Eric Dade to Howard.
You know, one thing about playing in heat like this is very often a defender will go to his goalkeeper and he'll say, how much time left? I'm exhausted. The goalkeeper's going to look up and say, hey, you got 70 minutes left. I mean, it's you look up at the clock and you just want those minutes to go by.
Well, Clint Mathis has become the 4th MetroStar to score 3 goals in a game in club history, and now he's looking for 4. Leaves it for Comas. Ooh, thought he had it there for a minute, too.
And that's the great thing about Clint Mathis. I mean, he had that ball in position to take a shot, but the unselfish player that he is, he saw Comas on his left. Watch Clint look up now. He could hit this ball with his right peg. Instead, he puts it to a wide-open Comas, but Dade tracked back, and Comas really had nowhere to go, except he tries to curl this ball almost like a direct free kick into the upper left corner.
It'll be all right, Alex. It'll be all right. Mathis lining himself up for his 2nd Player of the Week award in 3 weeks' time. I misspoke. I said Clint was the 4th MetroStar in history to get 3 goals in a game. He's only the 2nd in the 96 season.
Let me guess. Savary?
Yes, very good against Colorado in May of 96. And what Comas has done by getting 3 assists is join Donadoni and Sorber, who both did it in a game against Miami in '98, in becoming the only players to get 3 assists in a game in a MetroStars uniform.
Well, you know, both players doing so well. The thing about Clint Mathis that has made him an all-star and a candidate, as you say, for the most valuable player in the league, is he does it all. I mean, he could dish the ball off. He plays with abandon in the midfield. He tracks back. He plays defense. He's a killer finisher, and he's got good enough vision to look up and make his other players around him better.
Howard a little more relaxed back there with a 2-goal lead as we play in the last minute of the first half. Plus whatever stoppage time there might be. Shouldn't be a lot. Graziani. Just missing on the far post. Tough angle for him, tougher one for Tim Howard.
Well, Graziani is the player to watch. All great goal scorers are taught when they're wide of the goal, you must shoot high to the near post and low to the far post. Graziani turned on that ball. He saw Tim Howard, knew his only chance was to go far post low, just missed by about 3 feet.
Howard with the goal kick, and there will be just 1 minute of stoppage time in this first half. When we get a final score on that New England-Columbus game, we'll pass it along. New England had the lead last time we heard, but remember, a MetroStars win tonight clinches the division championship for the Metros. And if they win, they also go to 51 points. And depending on what happens in the Kansas City-Colorado game a little bit later, it's not inconceivable the Metros could wake up tomorrow morning atop the whole league.
Well, you know, I'm sure they knew it when they got on the plane coming to Dallas. And I'm sure Octavio has told them, don't think about it.
Look out here, Rodriguez. That's a goal. Boy, the MetroStars thought he was offside, but Jorge Rodriguez has just made this a 3-2 game. And right now, I hear a lot of fans in New York and New Jersey saying, will you shut up about the points and the winning and just... This game's got a long way to go.
And I'll tell you, the guy that was in an offside position with his hands in the back of Steve Jolly was Graziani. Watch this ball by Chad Deering. Rodriguez is in, and now he dekes. Tim Howard really just trying to hold his ground, drops to his knees, and watch the finish up high. Tim Howard perhaps could have done better on that play. When Rodriguez is in alone, you got to come out and play the ball at his feet, but you know, you can't fault him much. Second thought, he could have come out hard, but the play was made by the great through ball by Chad Deering.
Deering and Paul Broom get assists on the third goal of the year by the Salvadoran national, Jorge Rodriguez. What a first half we have had, and in spite of what Alex Comas and Clint Mathis were able to do, we've still got just a one-goal game. We ought to have a great finish and have a
10-day rest, and now they come out flat in the first half.
Well, Chicago did have the absence of about a half-dozen key players in that game, and Zambrano, looking at his team and so close, but yet so far, this is an agonizing 40 minutes or so coming up for the MetroStars head man.
Well, we've talked about it. Octavio Zambrano has been brilliant. Dave Durr certainly must be doing something right because he's still here, but for Zambrano, he's got some choices sitting on the bench in the second half. We'll watch how the heat affects the players.
Still above 90 degrees. It was 101 officially at game time. And Dallas trying to mount an attack, but a little sloppy in possession, but a foul is called, and Dallas will have it back. And, of course, you can see Billy Walsh say, how can that be?
That's just, you know, normal competitive juice. There's no reason to talk to the ref because he's not changing his mind.
This is Graziani. Back to Paul Broom. Supposed to go back to Paul Broom. Villegas had another idea. Nice diagonal. Dave got there first. Deering. Price will give and go with Santel, but Dooley will clean it up. Sean. Back to Mark. One thing about a 3-2 game is neither team can pack it in. They've both got to keep going forward and keep the game wide open.
Yeah, it's going to stay wide open. We watched Mike Petke read that pass and pick it off, and now Mark Chung, a little bit of space on the left.
Jordan out to handle it. And Graziani, the intended target, but broken up. Mathis couldn't get to that. Well, he's camped out, isn't he?
Clint, you know, Clint's a savvy player. You really can't run in this heat for 90 minutes all out, so you got to pick and choose your times. The game has slowed down a little bit, but the smart players are going to wait to make their runs in spurts.
Graziani! Ooh. He's a smart player.
I tell you, Graziani, for me, is a very talented player. Very few players would try and take that ball in full flight, a 30-yard ball with his left peg on a full volley, but that's how ambitious he is. Calling for the offside, but Graziani in control of his own skills to try and full volley that ball out of the air.
Howard will put it in play. ahead. Tomas couldn't hold it. Hey, speaking of Tim Howard now, what are these whispers that I'm hearing? There might be some people. Oh, hold on. Here's Paul Broom for Dallas. Oh, nice ball for Graziani. And a tremendous tackle there by Jolly to get it out of trouble.
Steve Jolly, another unsung hero. Watch this ball flighted over by Broom. He's been doing it all night. Jolly comes in. Tim Howard coming for the ball, but that's the correct move. The defender cannot take a chance. He's going to clear that ball. Steve Jolly did just that.
Dallas second corner. Deering out in front. Howard's got a bead and doesn't need to do anything with it. Now I started to say, what are these whispers that I'm hearing that the MetroStars are thinking about asking Tim Howard, are you sure you want to go to the Olympics? You sure you don't want to stick around and guide us through the playoffs and be at the helm for MLS Cup?
Well, we see Tim Howard, the player in question, making the stop. The play was offside. To answer your question, Brad, I think it's wishful thinking, because any young player, let's take a look at this offside. Again, Graziani coaching all night, just a little bit, a step offside, but it's probably the right thing for the club to do, to say, hey, you know, pass it up and stick with us and let's make a run for the championship. But very tough for a 21-year-old player to say, no, not going to represent my country in the Olympic Games when I'm being asked to. So I think a little bit of wishful thinking.
Think they'll ask?
I think they will. I think they, I would think they have an obligation to the club to ask. And the only thing they might have in their favor is that the Olympics in soccer is not the same connotation of, you know, World Cup soccer. I mean, many countries don't view it the same because of the under-23 players that they use. But, you know, again, I'm putting myself in Tim's shoes as a 21-year-old American being asked to play goal, and tough choice.
If you put yourself in Dooley's shoes, you're going to get a yellow card.
Well, Dooley's been the best player in the league for many years at the sliding tackle. In this case, he got there a little bit late with the studs up. But, you know, Thomas Dooley is one of the real reasons the MetroStars have had this kind of season. We see a substitution right now. Paul Broom, we mentioned, has been off for a while. He's not game fit. Martinez, number 11, coming in for the match for Dallas.
It's an interesting time for Dave Durr to make this substitution. Antonio Martinez is a youngster, a second-round pick this year out of Cal Fullerton. And this is his 12th game. He came on in the late stages of a scoreless tie against DC United a couple of weeks ago and almost immediately put in the only goal of the game. He has given his team some fresh legs from time to time. Also a left-sided player primarily. But this is not at the end of the game. This is a whole bunch yet to go. 54th minute with the MetroStars leading 3-2. Out in front. And tied up by Oscar Pareja, number 8.
That ball certainly looked like it was deflected. Pareja, Martinez in the mix. It certainly didn't take him long. He got into that. Pareja finished. It looked to me that it was deflected. Let's look again. Here it is, down the left flank.
Martinez, who just came in.
And now Pareja, way back for Pareja. That ball definitely deflected. Tim Howard going the other way, but Martinez starts it, lays it back. That ball deflected to Tim Howard's right. Watch Martinez, a good look, good vision. Price, always presence of mind, and then the ball deflected just off the inside of the leg of a MetroStar defender. No chance for keeper Tim Howard.
Third goal of the year for the little Colombian national, Oscar Pareja. And Martinez, instant offense again for Dallas, just into the game with his second assist of the year. Jason Kreis also given an assist. Now here come the Metros back.
Brad, you talked about instant offense in the name of Martinez. Remember, the MetroStars probably have that as well, sitting on the bench in Valencia. So interesting to see how Octavio Zambrano plays it.
And after we get this corner resolved one way or another, I want to hear you talk about how he ought to do just that. Low little tug and see. Dade had a whole handful of jersey there, but they got away with it. Well, what was once a 3-1 Metros lead is now a 3-3 game. Martinez, nice diagonal ball. Rodriguez from the back. Dooley there to head it away. All right, now, how much of a letdown is it for the MetroStars to have a 3-1 lead get gone?
Well, it certainly is. There are a number of factors there. When you're up 3-1, you really got to put that game away. So now to be looking with 35 minutes to go, and we're starting from the beginning, it's a tough road to climb, but they've climbed that road before. And again, the coach, Zambrano, has some options.
Well, and Valencia, of course, is the one, if they get to a point where they think they got to have a goal, is the one that you would think about. Now, when might he pull that trigger?
Well, I've learned not really to predict when it comes to Octavio Zambrano in terms of substitutions. Everything, as we said, he's done all season has been going well. I would think, though, at the 70-minute mark, that's when he'd be looking to make a switch. He's got to keep an eye, though, on Thomas Dooley, who also is a player who usually doesn't go 90 minutes for him.
Well, fans, it's time to announce the winning numbers for the MetroStars Irish Spring Aloe Run for the Money promotion. Check your MetroStars lottery ticket if you have lucky numbers 20-501 or 28-453. Then you're a finalist to try and win $1 million by participating in the $1 Million Kick at Giants Stadium on Wednesday, September 5th, when the Metros host the Miami Fusion. Again, the winning numbers 20-501 and 28-453. The winners must call the MetroStars office by Monday, August 28th at 5 p.m. to be eligible. I don't think you have to take Tommy Smith to dinner to have the opportunity, but I don't think it hurts necessarily.
You're going to see Tommy Smith somehow, some way connected with Irish.
I don't think there's any doubt. Well, this is some frustrating turn of events for the MetroStars. As you see, Valencia looking like he's about ready. We're not at 70 yet, but Zambrano apparently thinks it's time for El Tren.
Well, the obvious player to come out would be Comas, but, again, nothing is obvious this season for the MetroStars.
3 assists for Comas on the 3 Clint Mathis goals in the first half. But right now it's the Metros who look like they're spinning in sand just a bit. Dallas trying to get revitalized by Pareja's game-tying goal, and he feeds Deering. And back to Martinez. The rookie. Knocked away by Mike Petke. And Martinez digging for the ball and committing the foul. And let's see if this is the time for Valencia.
Well, Martinez, let's look at him with the ball. He just clips Peter Villegas, back heels, right elbow in his back. No way the ref is not calling that, but Martinez has already done his job. Come into the game, spark the offense.
And it looks like Ramiro Corrales is also going to come in for the Metros. So a lot of fresh legs being called on by Octavio Zambrano at the first opportunity. Martinez taken down. And Billy Walsh just runs away from that one.
Well, that's a professional foul. He didn't do it violently enough to get a yellow, but a dangerous part of the field. Billy Walsh really can't let Martinez streak by him, and he just put enough body on to take him down.
Just into the game, and he got an assist. So you see Valencia for Comas, and then Corrales for Roy Myers.
Yeah, that one a bit of a surprise. Certainly not Valencia for Comas, but Corrales for Myers. Probably a function of Myers, really the gas tank being empty. And Octavio Zambrano, no way he wants to risk everything. I mean, they're playing well. He wants to get the next goal, but he can't just go all out and attack.
So those changes come in the 60th minute. And there's Ramiro Corrales, who also was named to the U.S. Olympic team. I'm sure you know that one. But that's not his concern for the next 30 or 40 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Rodriguez in the back for Dallas. And so Octavio's only got 1 substitution left to him, and Dave Durr has 2 available for him.
That substitution Octavio has in his pocket probably will save to see how Dooley fares up in the last 10 minutes.
Roy Myers.
We're being told that Matt Jordan changed his jersey And apparently in violation of league rules, which say the keeper has to wear the same shade of jersey. If he is forced to change, it's got to be a duplicate. And this one isn't. It's a much darker shade. And apparently the MetroStars aren't very happy about that. They're somewhat distracted by what they think is a shirt that looks too close to the field jersey.
You know what? They got to get past that. Goalkeepers always have explanations. When I played many years ago, I used to wear a shirt that was camouflaged, that blended in with the grass or the stands or the
And they let you get away with that.
Yeah, sure they did. I always talked my way out of it.
Now that I'm not surprised to hear.
The goalkeepers are always thinking. I'm sure Matt Jordan had a reasonable explanation for why he had to change his shirt.
Now, I mean, no question. Right now, he's got a reasonable explanation for why his teammates ought to go up where he wants them to go. And clearly, that jersey that he's wearing is a little closer to the color of the field. But I guess this is a chromosomal thing, but I couldn't tell you the color of the shirt he was wearing in the first half. Could you?
Well, the two trains of thought really for a keeper. One is camouflage, you want to blend in. The other is you want to stand out, be frightened for the attacking player.
Well, watch Martinez here. He got a little screen from Price, but he couldn't turn around it. And we're coming the other way. So Martinez will writhe around in the ground for a while to make it look good. And Dallas is also going to make a substitution.
Watch this ball flighted over. There's the header. Martinez takes it on his left peg. Really just caught in a collision. Looks like he turned on the left ankle by himself. Villegas really not the player creating the contact. And Martinez just bending, rolling over on his left ankle.
Chivas, they call him. Young man originally from Mexico, and the Chivas club in Guadalajara, his favorite, and he used to wear that shirt all the time. And so they started calling him the name of his favorite team.
Well, they played down there in Guadalajara at Jalisco Stadium, a beautiful park. He is from that area. And Chiva, you know, if he comes in the game, gets an assist, any name works.
Yeah, you bet. I call him Mr. Chivas. Villegas cannot get it away from Graziani. Abdullah. We are in the 63rd minute. A game that the Metros once led 3-1 is now tied at 3. The equalizer, the only goal so far in this half, scored by Dallas's Perea, assisted by Martinez and Kreis in the 54th minute. How much of a lift? Let me take you back a little bit. How much of a boost did Dallas get by pulling to 1 goal just before the half?
Well, you hit it on the head, Brett. I mean, that was the one that really gave him life. You go in the locker room, down 3-1, 45 minutes to go in tough, oppressive heat conditions. You know, they're really struggling. But that goal before half, that's the goal a coach never wants his team to give up.
And that is the one, of course, on which the Metros really felt Dallas was offside. Here's Rodriguez. He scored that goal. And trying to get it through to Deering. Santel makes his move. Oh, right out in front. Rodriguez. There's Martinez. Is he onside? Oh, he scored again! And Dallas has the lead for the first time tonight.
This crowd here, Brad, is going wild. I mean, the field is inexplicably looks like it's tilted, and it's all Dallas burned going toward the MetroStar goal. And how about Martinez? Watch this ball. Let's see if he's offside. There are players, Graziani, in an offside position, but not affecting the play. And there's the through ball. Martinez stands up Tim Howard, slots it to the near post. Again, very composed for a young player. He tucks that ball neatly into the near post. The cry for offside was for Graziani, but he was really not in the play.
Second goal of the year for Martinez. The assist goes to Jorge Rodriguez. And after leading 3-1 in the 40th minute on Clint Mathis's third goal of the night, the MetroStars suddenly are looking for the license number of the truck. And Dallas takes the occasion to bring Ted Eck, number 41, into the game in place of
Paul Broom, I think.
No, Broom left earlier for Martinez.
Okay. Well, Ted Eck was the right play to put in.
Watch out now. Here's Jordan. He just smothers it. Metro's looking for the equalizer, and there's Eck. Wow. See, I couldn't see Jordan for a minute because, you know, his shirt blended right in with the...
That's a good goalkeeper.
Ted Eck is a defensive substitution. Eck has come into the game for Lazo Alabania. They're both central midfield players, and Eck was a starter until he suffered plantar fasciitis in his foot several weeks ago. But that, Shep, is a definite defensive substitution for Dallas. Now here's Martinez again. Didn't have anybody on the back post, and Petke is going to get this thing out of trouble. We're down to one sub each. What a game tonight. Santel. This is Perea. That's Dooley. Valencia's first touch. And Dade's first tackle of the night.
Here's the MetroStar break. Mark Chung, Jordan off his line quickly, got both hands on the ball. He's very aggressive, came up out to the 6-yard box and snuffed Mark Chung.
Metro's trying to get the corner turned and can't. Rodriguez there to deflect it. And we should have a corner. That's Ted Eck, the veteran, been with Dallas since year one. Octavio Zambrano cannot like what he has seen in the last 25 minutes. Chung the corner. Back post, right out in front. Oh, and it's headed off the line and tied up again. And that's 4 for Clint Mathis, the first MetroStar who's ever done that.
Oh, baby, you got to be kidding. And that was the same corner kick they took in the first half, where Chung floats the ball to the back post. Steve Jolly gets ahead on it. Petke cracks a ball, headed off the line. Octavio trying to explain to Villegas where he wants him. Watch this ball, Brad. Floated intentionally to the far post. Now Jolly with a header. Petke takes a shot. Another shot headed off. And there's Clint Mathis. When it comes on this guy's left foot, he buries it.
In the 67th minute, give an assist to Petke, his second assist of the year. And Clint Mathis has 4 tonight, and we are tied at 4. Wow. No MetroStar has ever scored 4 goals in the same game.
There was a lot of time left, Fred, in this game.
Valencia trying to blow the whistle. Now you can almost feel the entire momentum shift to the MetroStars. Dallas was feeling so good as well they ought at 4-3, and now they're kind of rocked. Well, Graziani ran out of steam. He couldn't get to it.
Yeah, it's all about execution at the end of the day, and both teams playing wide open, up and down. Both teams know who to look for. I mean, their go-to guy for the MetroStars is and has been Clint Mathis.
Valencia. Dade is right with him. Imagine if you're Dave Durr, you say to Eric Dade, you just stay with him. That big guy, number 14, just stay with him.
If he goes into the stands for a hot dog, go with him.
Go buy the mustard. You know, we'll take care of the rest of it. You stay with him. Which you'd think that someone would say, you just know that Petke's going to shadow either Price or Graziani. He's on Price right now. A 4-4 game in the 70th minute. And look out, Santel. He couldn't get it to the other foot. He was trying, and Dooley had him outfoxed.
Thomas Dooley, such a pro. Santel's got to do better with that ball. He was in alone. He had 2 players to his left. He slowed up. Dooley read the situation and took that MetroStars out of danger.
Imagine there will be a few heart-stopping minutes like that in this final point. And Now, how much does fatigue become a factor? Because both teams have taken turns chasing the ball over.
Yeah, it really does, Brad. But again, if you're the team holding the ball, like the MetroStars are now, Dallas is the one trying to play defense. Now it flips. That's the team that gets tired. The one playing, chasing, playing defense.
This one's coming into touch, and a Dallas throw-in. Each team, remember, has one substitution still at its disposal. Martinez for Dallas to Eck. Correa from long range. We are in the 71st minute at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. And we have had one to remember tonight. Brad Sham and Shep Messing. And take a deep breath, because here's the scoring summary. Mathis put the first 2 goals of the game up. Graziani got Dallas on the board. And then Mathis seemed to put it away for the Metros in the 40th, but just in stoppage time, Rodriguez made it 3-2. Correa, watch out for Graziani. There's a Howard save. Graziani is onside, but we got a yellow card.
I think that yellow card is for his celebration after the goal for taunting. No, I guess he was. I guess he was. They're not allowing the goal. Here's Graziani with the left peg. Oh, he played it with his hand. He played it intentionally with his left hand. That's the goal of God that Maradona scored in the World Cup with a fist up. Watch Graziani, the kick save. Now with his left hand, he plays that ball down. A collective sigh of relief for the MetroStars.
Wow.
Graziani, like all great goal scorers, you know, they're kicking, they're biting, they're doing anything they can to stick the ball in.
Goalkeepers, of course, don't do that kind of thing.
No, they don't. They never do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, yellow card caution.
Look at David Durr. He's an ex-goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He doesn't look too happy right now.
Well, no, there's 8 goals in the game, for crying out loud. I don't think he is. Unbelievable. We're just talking about the goals being scored, and we almost had another one. We didn't have time to summarize the scoring for you. But I can tell you that in the second half, Correa tied it at 3 for Dallas in the 54th. Martinez, the youngster, came off the bench and assisted on that goal, and then scored in the 64th. But the 4th goal of the night for Clint Mathis in the 68th minute on an assist from Petke has tied the game at 4.
What I love about Clint Mathis, he is the unhappiest player on the field right now. Forget his 4 goals. He just wants a victory.
The MetroStars, as we mentioned earlier, know the stakes for which they're playing, and really, with the year they've had, it goes beyond just winning the division, which they can do with a win tonight. It goes to being on top. Now, when the game is close, late, look out for the burn, because Dallas, 3rd in the league in scoring in the game's final 15 minutes.
Who's first and second? Kansas City?
No, actually, it's Tampa and New England, believe it or not.
Well, that's obviously a critical part of the game. The last 15 minutes, Dallas, you know, knocking the ball in, so it bodes well for them. But, you know, I do think there's another goal in this game.
Only one?
Oh, next one's a goal.
That was Eck trying to wind up, and he'll pop a couple in from time to time, but it's not his game. Graziani is called for the foul, and Petke said, "Nice try, buddy, but you know what? You're not getting it this time."
Oh, Petke's had a rough week. I mean, a big week. The Mike Amon incident, his retaliation, and his revenge shirt. The Empire Supporters Club, I know they went to the league office to plead on behalf of paying Mike Petke's fine, and good for them. I mean, they're supporting the team. The league did not allow them to pay the fine, but, you know, good for them. They're behind the team, the Empire Supporters Club.
$250 is not like it's kind of like when you lose a lawsuit and the fine against you for $1.
Not big punitive damages.
I don't know that Mike read that into that fine, but don't you think that's, I mean, they could have fined him more than that if they really thought that what he had done was that egregious. They were just trying to send him a little message.
Yeah, I mean, look, on the league's behalf, I do understand it. You really can't have every player raising the shirt to give a different message.
Although, as Tommy Smith pointed out the other night, just about all of them do. Martinez has his jersey tugged down by Villegas, and Villegas will draw a yellow for that one.
Martinez has certainly been a spark plug. Here he is on the ball, and watch Villegas. I mean, clearly grabs the left sleeve of Martinez, drags him down, and that's the justifiable yellow card.
Fouls are 14 to 10. The Metros have committed the most. And this is a dangerous spot right here for the Dallas burn.
Well, Price is the one on the burn who is known, you know, to crack the ball from far out.
Howard positioning everybody. Jason Price. Oh, he's a load from here. Into the wall. And he can't get another shell back in the barrel. Rodriguez pushed off it. Nice work. And the foul here against Rodriguez, and he'll get yellow. No matter how far away he tries to ride Jorge, Mr. Valenzuela says, come back, come back, come back. I've got something for you.
Well, you always worry when Tab gets cracked like this. It's a sure foul by Rodriguez.
And now call back to your mind the picture we showed you going into the game tonight of the sideline activity from the game at the Meadowlands on July 5th. It looked a lot like this. A lot of hold me back, and that kind of thing. And I'll tell you what, this last 15 minutes could be amazing.
Well, you talked about it at the top, Brad. I mean, no love lost before these two teams. Again, going back to Giant Stadium, it all started, I believe, with the hard tackle and broken ankle of Danoff. And really, it escalated from there. The Graziani, Mike Petke battle. This really a function of how the MetroStar team has come together, though. They're rallying to the cause of their guy, Tab. I mean, Tab's had a history of injury.
Yep.
That was a crude tackle, and his players standing up for him.
And little Oscar Perea and Steve Jolly were two who seemed to be nose to nose. Now he seems to be putting that card away. And Graziani wanted some explanation. You saw Thomas Dooley right in there. And we got quite a summit going on. This is... Lucy, you've got some explaining to do.
Well, he's doing the right thing, the ref. He's going to the sidelines and asking, enlisting the help, the aide, to say, what did you say?
Right.
You know, what happened off the ball?
Yeah, which is a good thing, because let's get it right. That's the main thing. Yep, thank you. That's what I thought. Now, Rodriguez, I wonder if Rodriguez has been thanked for his efforts and sent home. Yep, see ya.
Well, he's certainly not going on his own free will, so he's headed into the locker room.
And he appears to have been ejected, doesn't he? And Dave Durr, the coach, with his keeper, Matt Jordan. And now they've got to talk about how they want to direct their traffic, because now the Metros will play with a man advantage for the last 12 minutes of regulation, as it appears that Jorge Rodriguez has been ejected in the 79th minute.
They're getting the explanation that Dallas Burn are right now. Clint Mathis in there. Corrales, they all want to hear what's going on.
Let's see it again.
And watch this. Tab on the ball. A vicious tackle. Really no chance of getting the ball. You can snap a guy's leg like that, and that's justifiable to see him sent to the shadow.
And as you say, with the things from which Tad Ramos has come back. Dave Durr over here on the sideline, by the way, as you look at Jolly fixing his shoe, Dave Durr has just unloaded on Mr. Valenzuela, the referee.
Yeah, I don't think, you know, certainly he's going to argue his case, but that's, in a rough game, that's a tackle you can't allow.
Right, and as you said, as we started to mention, Jolly also is going to get a yellow for his part in the argument with Perea. But, yeah, you're right. With all the things from which Tab has come back, boy, you just can't even imagine seeing that kind of a tackle. So Perea and Jolly both get yellow. And Rodriguez did get shown the red card. All right here in the 80th minute. So, just as we suspected, Shep, it degenerated into the Chippy Battle Plus, that the game back at the Meadowlands in July kind of
Well, don't say degenerated. I like this stuff. I like this.
You hate to see fights.
No, you don't. I mean, there's been some good, skillful attacking soccer played.
Oh, yeah.
8 goals, and there's still 10 or 20 minutes left. So you certainly don't want to see that kind of rough play.
Now we'll see if everyone can get themselves collected and how chippy the play continues to be. Remember, the Metros led 3-1, then Dallas led 4-3. Now, there was a stop or two along the way. But there's the comparison of the fouls by half. Seems like more, doesn't it?
It does. Let's watch what Mark Chung does on this ball. Typically, he flights a high ball to the far post for Steve Jolly to run onto. Well, now Chung moving away from the ball. Tab usually drives the ball hard.
Ramos measuring the goal. Mathis trying to sneak around back post. Oh, that was right out in front. And we've got what? Oh, we're going to get a penalty. Oh, we thought we'd seen everything. Holy cow.
Unbelievable. I mean, Tab bent a beautiful into the box. Watch Tab. He steps up. Let's see if we can see the contact. There it is. Absolutely tackled from behind. I mean, a clear, good of the ref to pick it up because it was away from the ball, but a clear tackle from behind, brought down in the 6-yard box, and absolutely a penalty. Good catch by the ref.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, how do you feel about 5 in a game?
Let's see how Clint takes this. Usually a right-footed kicker kicks to the goalkeeper's left. If he takes it with his left foot, he puts it to the goalkeeper's right. That's just percentages. Matt Jordan thinking of those percentages right now. Right foot usually goes to the goalkeeper's left.
A penalty in the 83rd. Mathis. 5 goals in the game.
Has anybody done that? Have we seen this before, 5 goals? Clint Mathis, and that's the game a goalkeeper plays percentage-wise with the right foot. He hits it to the goalkeeper's left. Matt Jordan thinking the same thing. So Matt Jordan, you'll see him go left, and there's Clint. He turns it the other way. That's the battle in penalty kicks. What do you think I'm going to do? What am I supposed to do? What do I do at the end of the day? And at the end of the day, he stuck in his 5th goal.
High fives for your 5. Well, this is a night that no one who has seen it will forget. Dallas fans and players obviously didn't like seeing a penalty, but you pointed out exactly what the referee saw. What Dallas saw was that Eric Dade headed the ball away, but that other activity is what put Clint Mathis on the spot and puts the Metros back in front. How amazing is that? Now Graziani. What a frantic 7 minutes now. Martinez, Graziani. Can't get it back to him. Santel's shot is blocked. Valencia. And this one's coming into touch.
And if you're Dallas now, Brad, you're playing a man down. There's Mathis really into this game. But if you're Dallas, you're playing a man down. You got to get organized. Obviously, you got to get forward. But for the MetroStars, you're playing a man up. I mean, you got a free player, match up, mark up. There are going to be some tense minutes, but really the MetroStars should put this game away.
Well, they certainly should now, although, again, I'm sure they would have told you that they should have done that at 3-1.
All right.
But now, after the man, I'll tell you what else, they'll sleep well tonight. Watch out for Martinez now. Correa's in a crowd. Mathis. Oh, nice.
Brad, I would expect the MetroStars have another substitution in them. Mark Semioli for defensive purposes. Let's see what Octavio does. Let's see who he takes out. But again, they're a man up, so maintain your composure, mark up, and, you know, they should be able to weather the storm.
Now, Dallas appears to be showing an offensive substitution, and here he comes, Alexi Carroll, their first-round draft choice, to high school in Livonia, New York, and then to Indiana from the Ukraine, and he is the leading rookie scorer in Major League Soccer. 5 goals, 3 assists, in for Chad Deering.
I've seen a bit of Alexi Carroll. He can play. He's got great skill on the ball, natural born, you know, killer instinct in front of the goal. That's a player they're going to have to mark up.
Leaving the game, number 15.
So Deering out, Carroll in, Dallas out of subs. And looking for the equalizer with just a little over 4 minutes plus whatever stoppage time to go. Well, next Saturday, the first place MetroStars are back in action on Fox Sports Net. We hope you'll catch complete coverage as the MetroStars take on the Miami Fusion. It's all coming your way next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. live on Fox Sports Net. Pareja, Dallas trying to equalize. Eck. Nicely done by Villegas. Trying to mark a little time off it now.
I'd really like, Brad, you know, that was by Peter Villegas, when in doubt, kick it out. I'd really like the MetroStars to maintain a little bit of possession. And now watch, Mark Semioli in, a defensive switch, and a man coming out, your man that you predicted before the game, Clint Mathis.
Well, I said before the game he's my personal choice for most valuable player in the league. And that's before the 5-goal night, a record-shattering night. Not just setting, but shattering. Now look here. Here is Valencia. El Train. Saved by Jordan. And El Train with a rebound.
Absolutely unbelievable. What a goal by Valencia. What a goal, because that goal makes him the MetroStars all-time leading scorer. And watch Valencia. He gets this ball in an onside position because when it was released, he was at midfield. Now he streaks in alone. Jordan comes out, makes the save. Valencia, big and strong, stays on the ball and beats 2 defenders. Watch the first shot, the save. Now here's Valencia's strength. He splits 2 defenders, maintains his balance, and he sticks it in.
Unassisted. But look at that smile for the ages. No MetroStar has ever scored 15 goals in a year. Adolfo Valencia has in the year 2000. Now it is 6-4. And Valencia and Mathis will share center stage. Martinez has it tackled away beautifully. Chung setting up Jolly for it there, and now Villegas. Now it's a matter of killing some time.
Brad, we talked about it before the game. We both expected some explosive play. This had all the ingredients going in to be a good game, but I don't think either one of us expected this.
I would not have told you 10 goals. I would not have told you 5 by 1 man. Valencia, maybe. Here's Santel, and Howard out to control it. And because of all the extracurricular activity that happened around the 80th minute, we are currently looking at about 4 minutes of stoppage time, as Valencia needs a little attending to.
And Brad, it's a little premature, but certainly with respect to the MetroStars, this is what championship teams have to do. They have to win under different circumstances. They have to win under difficult circumstances. Look tonight, all these records in the book. Mathis, 5 goals. MetroStars record for the most team goals, 6. And the MetroStars opponent goals.
Number of goals in addition to their opponent. 10 goals in a game. That's
not one they're happy about, but the first 2 they'll take.
I'm sure they won't even mind the 10 as long as they're on that 6 end. Remember now, we're going to have about 4 minutes of stoppage time. And, of course, the other thing that will happen if the Metros hold this lead is for the first time ever, they will be division champions. Here's your 4 minutes of stoppage time. 3 points would put the Metros at 51. And the only team that could pass them tonight would be Kansas City, which is underway against Colorado. Here's Price. And his shot is blocked by Doolin.
Well, I know Mike Ahman is certainly watching this game back home, and certainly over the last week has had an outpouring of good wishes from fans and teammates. And I know he's enjoying this game at the moment. And, you know, sure he'd rather be in the game, but this is a game where maybe it's nice to be sitting and watching if you're a goalkeeper.
I was just thinking that. I know he wants to get back. Everybody wants to see him back. Offside flag is up. But I'm just wondering if Mike might not say, okay, you know, if the winning guy is giving up 4 tonight, maybe this will be my night off.
Yeah.
Well, you have some like this from time to time.
Well, there hasn't been a real bad play by the keeper. I mean, the goals have been, you know, solid goals, no soft goals.
There may have been some weak play from time to time in the back, in front of the keeper. Certainly some questionable stuff. I think by Dallas from time to time, allowing long unmarked runs by the MetroStars. But no, the keeper play has been a little bit better than a 10-goal game would have you believe.
And again, for both sides, I mean, good teams have to adjust. Not every game is a defensive struggle where you're trying to poke in 1 goal and win. Sometimes they're wide open affairs, and you got to be able to do that too.
Well, we have had ebbs and flows in this game, and I guess the biggest play in the game is the takedown in the box that set up Mathis's PK. Halftime, normally we show you a play of the week, and instead we showed you about 5 during the game.
We certainly did see one tonight.
Again, this was a 3-1 game for the Metros when Mathis scored his 3rd goal in the 40th minute. We thought that was pretty good.
And by the way, Brad, again, you were right. The momentum totally went the other way, and I, for a moment, thought the MetroStars had lost the grip on tonight.
When Dallas scored in stoppage time of the first half to make it 3-2, it started to go. And when they went ahead 4-3, you had to really not like the MetroStars' chances a lot. But just 4 minutes later, Mathis was able to get an equalizer. And then came a couple of yellow cards, and then the MetroStars were able to play a man ahead when Rodriguez got sent off with a red card in the 80th minute. And then Mathis on the penalty in the 83rd. Smile, Clint. You are in the books, buddy.
And that's a sign that we talked about before. Hernandez, the injured player, standing next to Clint. He's on this road trip. The goalkeeper coach, Phil Wett, he's on this trip. This team has really come together. Give all the credit to Nick Sikevich and Octavio Zambrano.
Well, I know you are going to want to be at Giant Stadium on the 5th for the last regular season home game. Howard covers it up. We're in stoppage time. And what a shock this is going to be to you, but Clint Mathis is our player of the game.
And that's really a microcosm of the season he's had. I mean, 5 goals, big time.
And we are done. And Clint Mathis is in the books. And the MetroStars are the champions of MLS East. And there will be playoff soccer at Giant Stadium this year. The MetroStars 6 and the Dallas Burn 4, and we'll have more from the Cotton Bowl.
Seals, a member of the Dragons Kid Club. Matthew won 4 tickets.